confirmed now that the battery has been taken care of. There's a couple of clips we need to get out. Like, I want to say maybe this clip, but I'll have to wait until I get everything down to be sure. I need to start taking off the bolts here so that I can get this shield that's covering the gas tank down. It's good to see this thing still on here. So let me go ahead and take this off. Once you get 1, 2, use these two right here, 1 and 2. There's a third one up there. And there's a fourth one back here that you have to undo for this heat shield. You can kind of bend this heat shield out of the way. That gives you more access to get to your fuel pump. God dang it. To get to your fuel tank. So now I'm gonna weasel my way over to the right here, to the passenger side, and work my way back down. Moving this stuff out of the way. Oh my gosh. It's real tight. It's real tight down here. And I'm gonna start taking that bolt off, and then I should be able to drop this. Stay focused. here is the fuel pump for, well, the fuel tank for the 2005 Ford Focus that still isn't finished with the paint job. I'm waiting on more paint to show up. Should be here by Saturday. Now, before I get started, I kind of want to give a disclaimer, and I need to clean this garage up. I'm working on it. I am. It actually looks like it's not, but I've done a lot in here to move stuff around. As I get all this crap out of here, I'm tripping over stuff and just bad. Right? So disclaimer about the fuel pumps. Now, you could go out and you could get a cheap fuel pump to put in your car. And I caution you from doing that, because if you look at the I think what they call it, the MFH or something, the mass flow per hour, whatever that is. I forget what the acronym is for it. But you look at the mass flow per hour, the cheaper ones have like something like the max fuel flow per hour being 15, whereas this one is 185. You won't, if you're going to do like a turbo build with the cheaper fuel pumps, you won't be able to do that. You're going to have to change out the fuel pump itself if you're going to do that. So it is to your advantage to spend the extra money and get the OEM part, so that you don't have to worry about having to drop this tank again and swap out the fuel pump to help your car get the fuel it needs to run that engine with all the extra air you can be pushing through. So that's my disclaimer about the cheap versus the OEM. This part cost roughly $290 after tax, so it's pretty hefty on the price, and I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty pricey. But this part failed after almost 20 years. How often or how quick is yours gonna fail if you get the cheap part? Anyway, off that soapbox and on to dropping this in. Covered up everything, so I won't get a lot of fumes in here. Right. Okay, so I already have, it's really stinky. I already have a seal already in here. So you're gonna make sure you have that for yours. How is it oriented? We get this piece to drop down in here first. How we do that? We'll get this to drop down in here first. Like so. Kinda really don't want to bend this, but just kind of want to get it down in there. Like that. And this just sits straight into place, locks it in. No fighting with it, no nothing. This is really good. All right, so now this, just go down like that. Just push that in. Need to make sure that that gets pressed in. I'm gonna check something with this new seal to make sure. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this seal was sitting too far. It's sitting way over here, which is just, that's why I say these aftermarket parts are just bad for this. The green seal that is OEM sits in that slot right here. I don't know if you can see that because I can't really tell with the camera, but this is where it's supposed to be. All right, so I need to get this now set in here, and it'll sit right now like it's supposed to. With the aftermarket part, it wasn't sitting right. So you can drop this thing down below this little lever here so I can turn this to where I wanted it. But now with this, I can. It's kind of gotta get it around. Make sure, okay, so it needs to go, I believe, this way. Let's go like that so that the line comes in here. I think, if I'm thinking about this right, we'll have to see when I get it up under there, because this needs to go back here. I think this line comes around right here. And then this will kick over top. This needs to go like this. And we'll just tap that in place and we'll be good. Stay focused. All right, so let's get this on here somewhere. Just going to give it a couple of love taps. Just like so. A little more. See these little buttons right here on there? They need to be buttoned up against that, and that locks it in place where this thing won't move around. So there you have it. That is how you would, drop the fuel pump, or drop the fuel tank, swap out the fuel pump itself, the fuel pump assembly, and then swap in a new fuel pump assembly. Like I said, I think I have this oriented the right way, because this I know has to go back here, because here are my two inlets for the fuel tank, or the fuel nozzle inlet. And I think this line runs right here. If I need to adjust it, I can, to where it comes out like right here, but I think it's back here. So I will update that video if it is in the wrong direction. But this is it. This is how you do it. Well, at least this is how I did it. And before I get everything all jacked up back in the car, I'm going to test to make sure the fuel pump actually primes on while the tank is on the ground. And you should do the same thing, so just to make sure you don't put a dead fuel pump back in the car and you can't use it. So with that said, it's Focused Hands here, and I'll see you in the next episode. We'll be back on painting here once I get this garage cleaned up, and it's going to be miraculous. It's going to look a lot better, and we'll continue this ST build to get it out on the street and and driving. Peace.